Hello, Internet. So tonight we're going to do some vintage Kenner ships and toys, and this is my favorite part of collecting. I love the dioramas that you can create with the ships, like the fact that they took small figures and were able to collect them into play sets and ships in a way that made them hyper interactive is just the funnest thing for me, and I just love it. I love it so much. Here is a shot of some of the ships that I have. I think I showed already this week the Imperial Shuttle. I added a few stormtroopers to it, and so then this is Vader's Star Destroyer. It's kind of a controversial ship. Some people think it's more of a play ship than a ship, and you know, it's got an odd shape. It's not really, you know, it's not very ship-like. I mean, the Executor was such a big, awesome ship. This came out in 1980. And this is Slave One, Boba Fett's iconic ship. Famously followed Han and Leia to Bespin after Han disappeared in the trash release. And you can see Han there frozen in carbonite and carried by some of the others. There's the Chewbacca and C-3PO. And so this is so fun for me. Like, setting this up and like looking at these and creating this shot is just a real hoot. So you can see the Bespin guards, you know, they're army builders. You can never have enough army builders to fill out your dioramas. You know, you never have enough stormtroopers. You can always add more. You know, they're basically infinite, you know. So you can have as many of those as you want. I always try to put at least one in every scene because they just go so well. We're going to get into a couple things, but I just want to pan across this a couple times and bask in the glory of the vintage Kenner. I'm still in love with this Imperial Shuttle. It's just so dope. We've got 6 Imperial guards, the Emperor, Vader taking a bow, 4 Imperial commanders, 4 stormtroopers. Then if you'll notice in the Vader destroyer, there are all 6, this is my favorite part of the ship, is all 6 bounty hunters are there. That was where we were introduced to the bounty hunters in the movie. And this ship, unfortunately, is incomplete. I do not have the battery cap or the light bulb. This takes 2 C batteries and lit up in Vader's chamber, you know, and I don't know. I think that the Slave One is complete. The stickers are pretty good. The box is pretty good. This is a pretty good, clean piece, but I think the Imperial Shuttle is probably in the best condition of all 3. So, moving on. We have some, if I can get my switcher back up, I just dropped my switcher. So, just give me 1 second. My app closed that is controlling my switcher, and it is opening right now. So I just want to show some photos and give sort of an idea of this is from a man named Tom Beaumont. He was related to my friend's wife, and he worked on the Slave One ship as a prototype. This here are prototype photos of the Slave One ship, early mock-ups. All white, you know. I think it looks sick. It looks so cool. Just the fact that it's a prototype just makes me excited. You see the guns at the bottom, the wings, Now, what's super interesting about this, here's a Stormtrooper Han with Stormtrooper and Han in the belly of the beast. You know, lots of playability. What's interesting about this is it had a speaker. There was a speaker included, and this didn't, of course, make it to production, but, you know, they were finding ways to add playability to their toy line, and they had electronics in previous vehicles, and they had added a speaker to this, and I think he may have had it set up with the Imperial March, I'm not sure, but you can see Slave One here is just, man, what a piece, you know. I'd love to have this. And I imagine these photos were taken some time ago. You know, I'm not sure when. This could be recent photos, but the photography is really good. Here is the speaker. Isn't that awesome? Like the handle and the speaker, like imagine getting that as a kid, you know, and flying that thing around. If it just had the sounds, you know, like the sounds of the ship, and the, you know, that bomb that he dropped out of the back made a specific sound that was really cool, sort of reverberated, and just a really cool toy, you know. So yeah, I wish they still had that. So here it is flying around. These were all sent to me earlier today. And they're just great photos. I'm so happy to be able to share these with you this evening. So sick. These are a little blurry. So moving on, I think this is the last one. So that's a cool tidbit of info about the Slave One and the pre-production, and how this is what would happen. You know, they would try different things, and it would not everything made it to market, you know. We see overall the shape and the build of the ship is very much similar to this, but the speaker was cut off, and that's just how it goes, you know. I mean, I think it would be great to have the speaker, you know, and we see at least one here. Like, we know one exists. There's a photo of one, and it was made, and it's out there somewhere, hopefully. I guess it could have been destroyed in the 43 years since. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, really cool. Now, interestingly, about Vader's destroyer is that, well, let me just show you. Okay. So in some early box art and in this catalog description, it showed Bespin Leia hanging upside down from the top. You can see in mine that I also did this. She's hanging upside down in front of Darth Vader, and he's ready to torture her and get whatever information he needs. And so anyway, we have a catalog description here. Darth Vader Star Destroyer. This is where Lord Vader communicates with the dark side of the Force. Activate the Force light in the meditation chamber, and Darth strengthens his dark powers. Chamber opens and closes. He commands from a swiveling command podium. There's a movable laser cannon, a simulated hologram unit to communicate with the Grand Emperor, push-button escape hatch, detention pegs to hang any captured rebels upside down, a control room, and assembly area for bounty hunters. It's plastic. It's 9x14x12 high. Uses 2C batteries. Figures shown not included. You know, sometimes they did include some figures with these, just like on a special deal. But this was 1888, which I think in 1980, you know, was kind of a pretty penny. You know, if you woke up on Christmas and opened up this big box, you were probably pretty stoked. So, anyway, this photo got canceled. Okay, this photo got canceled. Executives at Kenner found this photo risque at the time, and they didn't want to, I guess, have the only woman in the line hanging upside down being tortured. So this is a rare photo. It was included on some early box art, which I do have some photos here. This is early box art. This is from swc.com, I think. I was able to pull this off of. This guy, Gus Lopez, is like a super collector. He actually found the Death Star from A New Hope, I think. It's like the whole Death Star, the original model made by Industrial Light and Magic. He has it. And if anything's $1 million piece, it's got to be this Death Star, because it's huge. It's like 4 feet tall. I mean, it's incredible. It's in his house. This guy, he's got some video footage of his collection, and it's just unreal. Multiple rocket firing Boba Fett's, and like those probably aren't even the best things. I mean, he's got sculpts, like sculpted figures. You know, the production process of a figure is they sculpt it out of clay, and they sculpt the figure out of clay, and they put that in a mold, and then they make a hard copy of it, and then they send that to tooling, and like, so the sculpt is the earliest thing, and he's got, you know, early sculpts, and I'm not sure if there's any first 12 sculpts, and I don't really know what all the sculpts are. I do have some books here of Gus and Duncan's Comprehensive Guide to Star Wars, and it's encyclopedic. I mean, it is. These guys are completionists, and it's unreal what they have. I mean, it's out of this world. So we have Darth Vader Star Destroyer with Leia Bespin. The original conceptual box for the Darth Vader Star Destroyer playset pictured Leia Bespin instead of a Star Destroyer commander as Darth's prisoner. For reasons unknown, this change was made before the production boxes were issued. Unfortunately, this box has a vicious tear right in the middle. So you can see the tear here. You know, it looks like a tape pull from a comic, you know, like we've got a tape pull, you know, right at Leia's head. So that sucks. But, you know, I just love the minty photos. It's so cool. So yeah, the cancel culture existed in 1980. You know, we weren't able to get a hanging upside down Leia, which is fine. They changed the box art to include the Death Squad commander, who also got canceled, and his name was changed after, I think in the Empire Strikes Back, his name was changed on the card. I can't remember. Imperial commander? No, it was something. I don't know what his... I can't think of what his new name was, because I always call him Death Squad Commander. DSC, like a DSC. There's a disco boot variant with like these really thick heels on the Death Squad Commander that's highly sought after. But so anyway, we'll just go one more look at my lovely diorama that is set up here, and just tell you that this is a ton of fun to do. And you know, if you're collecting and you ever see the army builders, you know, like the figures that can be repeated, I recommend getting as many as you can, because it just makes the dioramas that much more enjoyable. It adds so much depth and scale to the ships and play sets. And these are 3 Imperial ships. I'll be able to do the X-Wings later. Not X-Wings, I'm sorry, TIE Fighters. TIE Fighters, and then I'll have some other Imperial ships to share, and then we'll do the Rebels. And I also have to do the Return of the Jedi figures. that'll probably be next week, a Return of the Jedi figure review. And just one more time, panning through here, just thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you on Monday. And I hope you enjoyed the show, and I think that's going to do it for me for this evening. A little 15-minute deal. And how's the light? Does the light look good? I think this is a good looking frame. So a little shadow, a little mystery. All right. I'm gonna figure out how to turn this off. I've got this new setup and everything. Like, I'm using my iPad for my computer, and let's see here. Here we go. And I'm gonna end the stream now. I'll see you later.